Alright, so there is a new update from Gamma.app, which is a very popular and honestly amazing presentation tool that will make the process of generating visuals like logos, social media posts, diagrams, and many others to be a lot simpler, more consistent, and on brand. So it is called a Gamma Imagine, and it is actually quite similar when you're using ChatGPT or Gemini to generate some images. But behind the scene, your prompt will be processed automatically. It will be enhanced. So when you are generating, let's say, an infographics, it's going to be consistent, and it's usually almost has no mistakes. It's every single letter in that infographics is going to be accurate, and not to mention you can use a sort of reference image or guidelines, so every single time the output is going to be consistent no matter the topic, no matter the occasion. It's going to be more consistent and reliable, and I think this is the quality that many businesses and organizations want to have when they are using AI. And the best part is that you can use this feature without paying extra. You don't have to pay anything to just try it out. So I'm going to show you how you can use this Gamma Imagine features, and also a few things that you can enjoy in that new tool. So first, you can navigate to Gamma.app, and I actually have an affiliate link in the description down below that should give you extra or bonus credits when you are signing up to this platform. Now, after that, I do recommend to navigate to a menu called AI images right here. And so there are two menus. Okay, so there is images and also graphics. They sound the same, and sometimes people just use them interchangeably, but here in the Imagine feature, they are completely different. So graphics is almost like projects or workspace or folders where it might contain some images that you created in that graphic. So I just want to clarify that when I said images, it refers to the images, and when I said graphics, it refers to sort of workspace when you work to create more and more images. So I hope that's clear. Now, right here, you can click create graphic, and then as you can see, the graphic setting will be selected, and well, there are a few things that we can do. So here you can choose the color or the theme for design, I suppose, but honestly this setting is kind of strange because this is usually relevant when you're creating a presentation or a document, but well, somehow we also have that feature, but I think that's kind of unnecessary. And also I think I prefer to just describe the design in the prompt, or just using a reference image, or just using the particular style that was provided in the menu. So I'll just keep that setting. Now right here you can choose the aspect ratio of the image. I'll select perhaps vertical 3:4, and the number of images, I think I will create, let's say 3 images, and let's see which one is going to look the best. And here, given that I'm not a paid user, I can only use the standard model, which in this case gonna be utilizing an AI model called a Nano Banana 2 Mini. I'm aware that there is a Gemini Nano Banana 2, but I don't know that we actually have Gemini Nano Banana 2 Mini. So I suppose that's a sort of special model that Google provided for enterprise customers, I suppose. Now, if you want to use bigger models that there is a Nano Banana 2 or even GPT image, then you have to be in the Pro subscription, which I don't have, so I'm not going to use that. And right here, just describe what is the picture that you want to generate. Now, in this case, I will just create a picture using this prompt. I want to generate a vertical infographic illustrating 5 stages of sales funnel. Now, you can use a detailed prompt, maybe even more detailed than this, or you can just use a simple prompt like this one. It's up to you, because either way your prompt will be automatically enhanced by the AI behind the scene, I suppose. And down here there's actually a feature where you can add a reference image, but I will talk about it later. I will use it later. For now, I can choose, let's say, a style or a composition for the picture. Now I'm going to open the other or explore other options. So we got plenty of options and they look pretty good. So on every style, they're actually going to use a more consistent font color and font design and perhaps structure. So that means that every time you're using perhaps the same style, like perhaps I want to use this one, it's going to look the same regardless of the occasion, regardless of the topic. So perhaps that's another thing why you might want to use this feature. Now I'll select the spot color and I will click save. And yeah, I mean, you can use other templates, but I just want to create my own. So I'm going to click generate variations and just wait for the next step. So after this, you can choose the sort of starting point, or basically the first image that perhaps you want to modify later. And after that, we will see a sort of canvas window that it is called canvas, but it doesn't mean that it is as complex as OpenArt or the canva.com AI. It is way simpler, and I think the company, the people behind Gamma.app, really encourage people to just modify, make changes on the image by just prompting, which I think is a good idea, because that's usually going to be the easiest way to modify a picture using AI. Okay, so it's almost done. Now we got various different options. Okay, I think I will use the first one. I'm going to select this and I'll start with this concept. And this is the canvas window. Now, down here, you can see that you can do a lot of things like removing the background, maybe erasing something on a picture, resizing. You can also crop the image, or perhaps you want to restyle it. And this is basically where you can apply a particular style from a picture. So let's say I'm going to apply a style from, let's say, this, I forgot the name. I think it's called Weather Pop Art style or something. Yeah, I'm going to use this. So I want to restyle this simple infographics with this one that looks very colorful and very dynamic. And okay, there should be a button right here, restyle image. I'm going to click it and just wait for the variation of that image based on this picture reference to be created. Okay, so I got this. Now this is actually from a different reference image. So the actual picture, the style regeneration or the restyle looks like this. So it's from this image, but then I used the picture that was created in the Gemini platform, which is the style of Kurzgesagt YouTube video. And I got this result, which I think looks a bit better. Now, there's still one problem with this image, and there are some sections, especially text, that is not functional. Like, what is the function here of the word stat right here? There are multiple stats in the picture, but they don't function, they don't communicate anything. Now I'm going to tell AI to fix that. Okay, in the picture I noticed that there are some stats, but can you modify them into something that communicates something? Okay, let me just check that. Okay, stat. Okay, and send a message and just wait for the result. Okay, now I got this result, and now it is no longer saying the random stat. It is actually telling me some numbers that I would say quite reasonable, especially for sales funnel. And if you do like the result, you can click this download button or click the export button right here to download image to your computer. And I actually took the liberty to create some other designs. This is one example of a blog post feature image. I think it's quite interesting, and it usually generates some more unique looking image, but still within the same style. So that's perhaps one quality that honestly I really like from the image and feature on Gamma.app. Now, how about the other option? So in this menu, in this screen, if you scroll down, you'll see that you can start from a template. Now this is actually quite the same as the other process, except here you can just select a particular structure that you want to have. Now, let's say I want to generate an invite poster, and then I can perhaps select modern and minimal, and I will just use this prompt. Okay, so I will just use maybe the style of, I haven't tried this one, isometric. That's going to be quite interesting. And aspect ratio will be 3:4. Okay, send a message and just wait for the results. All right, so this is the result. virtual leadership summit, and it does use a summit icon. Very interesting. And then I use this image as a reference, and this is actually a picture that I created using the Gemini platform, and I got this result. So it is able to maintain the same consistency but with a different style. So if you want to use a particular photo and you want to apply a different branding or color style, then you can do it. This is honestly really amazing, and I would say this is way more consistent, and also you don't have to worry about prompting or describing to AI exactly what elements that you want to retain and what elements that you want to replace with a new style. So I highly recommend start using this feature if you want to create some consistent or visually excellent posters, infographics, logos, or some visual elements for your organization. So if you like this video, then I think you are going to like this video as well. So click that video and I'll see you there.